Alabama and Georgia meet yet again in the Alabama and Georgia Invitational, the SEC championship game. We're going to preview that. It's time for the original Bama football tailgate show right now.
The original Bama football tailgate show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker and CoverCrimson.com host Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented by Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play! Featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. Also brought to you by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Luxury with a national championship service department. Yingling Lager. Yingling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. The Floribama world famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code BAMATAILGATE for amazing deals at NewLifeArt.com.
And also brought to you by Visit Tuscaloosa, where tradition meets adventure. Alabama personal injury lawyer Steve Mezrano. Mezrano wins, we got you.
Now the host of the original Bama Tailgate Show, here's Mick Gillispie.
All right, roll tide, everybody, and welcome to the show. Got a packed show for you today as we get set to take on Georgia, Alabama, and Georgia in the SEC championship game. Show's brought to you by, and that is the original Bama football tailgate show, by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. For the next 2 hours, we're going to preview number 10 Bama, number 3 Georgia, 3 o'clock at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. On the show today, we got Andrew Bone from Bama Online talk about Alabama's recruiting class, which came in pretty strong earlier this week. We're going to talk to Chris Lowe from On3, best in the business. Got into a big conversation about this matchup. Our friend Tom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Steve Mezrano is scheduled. We got Gaten and Grilling. We got a lot of stuff for you here on the show. And again, the show is presented by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Short drive from Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. And you get that Vegas-style sports book at the Golden Moon Casino. I'm Mick Gillispie with Jake Coker and Alphonse Taylor Shank. We got a full house to bring you this matchup today. Great to see you, Jake, and great to see you, Shank.
Good to be seen. Good to be seen. Always good to roll into a weekend playing the old redheaded stepchild, and looking forward to landing on them this weekend.
ooh, Jake coming in hot. But nah, man, it's great to be here with you guys. It's always a good time when y'all let me sneak into the studio, man. I'm absolutely happy to be here.
It's great to see you. Shank and I do a podcast here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. For those of you guys that are listening on radio right now, make sure that you go there and subscribe, right? Bama Tailgate on YouTube. Shank and I get together. We try to do it twice a week. And then Coker and I, hosts of the Tailgate Show, and also we do a podcast on the Next Round and their YouTube channel. So it's great to see two guys I totally enjoy hanging out with in studio today to bring you this huge matchup. Bama is number 10. They're 10-2. They beat Auburn. Georgia is 11-1. They only lost to Alabama, and they're number 3. Thoughts on the 27-20 win for Alabama in the Iron Bowl?
I'm ready to see this Alabama team step on people's throats and finish these games without a whole lot of drama at the end. We got a lot of great leaders on this team. I think the coaching staff's done a great job. But we're up 17-0. I want to see us kind of cruise to the end of the game with a commanding lead and not have to grind out these wins right there at the end. Sounds like a spoiled Alabama fan, and that's exactly what I am. But
time to admit it.
Yeah. I'd love to see us come in again this weekend playing Georgia. Not having so many drives that kind of peter out. I want to see more consistency and see us finish this game.
Oh man, I wish I had one of those soundboards. You know what I'm saying? I could hit. Jake. Yeah, Jake. That's what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm saying? I do think we're spoiled, but I think it's important to be said that we're spoiled from a place of we've been there. And we've done it at that level, and we did it at a high level while we were there. So we know it can be done. And we put our foot on some people's necks, man. And so that's just part of the culture that we built and we sustained while we was there. And so we know it can be done, and we just want to see those guys do it because we know we have the ability to do it. We have the talent to do it, man. We have the guys to do it, and I think we have the coaches to do it. 27-20, right? 17-0 at some point during the game, and we just kind of let up. I mean, we got the run game going finally, and back to my point, I'm going to keep harping on the run game because I know how good we are when we can run the ball. You know what I'm saying? I know what it looks like for us. When we went through that gauntlet this season, we ran the ball, we controlled the clock, we controlled possession, and we had great results because of it. And we were able to finish games that way. And I think we need to get back to doing a little more of that.
No doubt about it. But a win is a win. That's 6 straight over Auburn in the Iron Bowl. DJ Durkin wins the game. He's probably the coach at Auburn, right? And loses, he's the defensive coordinator. But this was a big win for Alabama. I was in school when Bama lost 6 times to Auburn, at least for part of that. You know, it's awesome being on the other end. Longest win streak I can remember. Normally, we're at the Floor Bama or we're at Innisfree. Next show, we're going to be at the Pie Factory in Jasper. So I want all you guys to know that. We're going to do a show up there for obviously to preview Alabama's next game, but also to do it for the late, great Big Sexy Elmo. So I can't wait to go up there and hang out. And I hope you guys plan on coming and hanging out with us when we do that. But with that said, we're in the home studio, which I love it when you guys come
Gets me fired up every time I hear the Brett intro.
I think of some of the funny stuff that he used to say, you know, like on a daily basis. I describe him as Chris Farley, you know, Chris Farley type of sense of humor. He was so funny. All right. Got a great show coming up for you. Obviously, we're going to talk Bama and Georgia. We got some just, amazing interviews. Bama with another great recruiting class. Kalen DeBoer smoking hot right now. I mean, you talk about just the average star power that Bama had in their class. They didn't end up with the number 1 class, but they had the 3rd best talent when it comes to the star ratings. They got a lot of players that are going to help this team in the near future. Andrew Bone, who I think is the best in the business and my longtime buddy, is going to be on here to tell us about that. So, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about Alabama and the fact that they're still ranked number 10. And should we worry at all about them not making the college football playoff if they lose to Georgia in this game? We're going to talk about that and more. I want to remind you, though, that our show is presented by newlifeart.com. And you look over at Jake as he sits in here. Let me put him on display so you guys can watch. Beautiful Daniel Moore artworks right there behind you. And you're actually featured in one, which is kind of nice to have you guys take a look at that. Now, I will promise you that if you use our promo code Bama Tailgate, you'll get a great discount at checkout. Of course, Shank is the voice of the crispy screen now too. So a lot of great stuff going on at newlifeart.com. And again, we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort and Casino. They've got a great concert coming up on December 28th. That is Lita Ford. That is Twisted Sisters, Dee Snider, and Firehouse. They're all going to be there. Tickets available. Check it out. Go watch the concert and then swing over and play the slots, maybe table games, go to the sports book, do all of that stuff. Philip M. Steakhouse, everything you need right there at Pearl River Resort. When we come back, we're going to talk Bama and Georgia, more of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show coming up.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Why walk when you can fly. Tap into your inner eagle. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world!
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Touchdown flavor, Gulf Coast style. Whether you're here for the big game or just hungry for a win, Floribama Old River Grill has you covered. Catch every pass, every play, and every moment on our wall of big screens while you enjoy fresh Gulf seafood, legendary burgers, and ice-cold drinks. With waterfront views and game day energy like no other, this is where football meets paradise. Grab your crew, bring your team spirit, and make Floribama Old River Grill your home field advantage this season, where the food, drinks, and football are always a win. Located across from the world-famous Floribama or online at FloriBamaOldRiverGrill.com.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause Liz wins. And get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mezrano.
Don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
Alabama and Georgia, and we're previewing it here on the Bama Football Tailgate Show with Alphonse Taylor. You know him as Shank. Jay Coker, I'm Mick Gillispie. Let me tell you guys that Black Belt Outdoor is in the heart of the Black Belt region, right where you're listening probably right now, or maybe somewhere close in Alabama. And they do a fantastic job of covering this area with billboards, including 13 counties in central Alabama. And you drive around and you're like, hey, I know that guy. It's Jay Coker. He's on the billboard. Well, we appreciate them. Sometimes I'm on there too, as they help us promote our show each week throughout the state. You guys should do the same thing for your business. They got static and digital billboards to meet the needs of their advertisers. Our guy, Bradley Price, takes care of us each week, man. I've been buddies with Bradley, who's part of Radio Royalty. Of course, his dad, Wally, was on the morning show in Tuscaloosa for years with Big Dave, our buddy. And then before that, his grandfather, Searsopper. And now he's in the billboard business. And you guys, if you got something that you need to get out there, Bradley Price is going to take care of you. Now, like and subscribe for those of you guys that are hanging on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. And for those of you that are listening across the state of Alabama, again, roll tide. And we appreciate all of our affiliates and our flagship station, 106.9 in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. On game days and every Saturday, we're at the top of the mountain because of you guys, and we appreciate you so much. Show's presented by Yingling Lager. We talk Alabama football with Kalen DeBoer and another big game. Why, guys, has he been so successful against ranked teams? In his career, 19-4 against ranked teams, obviously 4-1 this year, right? And then, or is it 3-1? No, 4-1 this year. And then against ranked teams in the top 10, DeBoer in his career, 6-1.
I mean, I think you look at that first game. I don't think you beat Alabama with Ty Simpson at the helm and the stable of receivers that we have with traditional looks on defense and not moving that picture. To me, I mean, when you watch that first game, I feel like there's a lot of traditional over under 4-down looks. You know, I mean, the mic calls are pretty easy. You can kind of see pressure coming with where the safeties are coming down, and things kind of come naturally to Ty in that look. You watch us play other teams, Oklahoma, for example. You know, when we played, when Shank and I were playing, I mean, the biggest difference to me, or the biggest analogy I can give, is you play Michigan State in the first round. They're playing quarters, they're playing cover 3, and there's no disguise in what they're doing hardly at all. You know exactly what they're doing. I know where the ball's going before I even get the snap, and it was, you know, just it was kind of pitch and catch because we had a lot of guys outside, had time to throw it. You know, I mean, there was no second guessing yourself based on where the defense was. You go in against Clemson, they're moving guys around. Pictures are changing all the time. Guys coming, guys dropping, you know, simulated pressures. Mike calls get a little jacked up. Now they make their mistakes and leave O.J. Howard open a lot, and there's risks that come with that. But I think if you give Ty Simpson clean pictures where everybody's on the same page before the snap and you don't second guess anything after that ball gets in your hand, it makes it really, I mean, I'm not going to say really easy, but a lot easier for a guy like Ty Simpson in the backfield or at the quarterback position.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's sort of the same up front, man. When you give us our looks, if you're just going to sit in the same look, it's easy to make our calls. There's no rule breakers. But when you start bringing different type of pressure, bringing guys up, dropping guys back, you have a lot of rule breakers there, man, and calls get fishy. And so for the most part, I would just like to see us, man, get consistent with something. Like, I want to see us find something and stay committed to it. Because if we're going to put the ball in Ty's hands and make him that guy and make him beat guys, then we need to do that. Or if we're going to put the ball on the ground and decide to control the game, then we need to do that. I think we kill ourselves offensively when we get indecisive on what we want to look like and what we want to be on offense in a given game.
Do you think that DeBoer, though, has some kind of, you know, magic, or is it, to me, he kind of reminds me of football's version of Joe Madden, who I followed when I worked with the Cubs, and he just made it fun and easy, and you just go out there and do your thing. And I feel like with DeBoer, with his teams, like the 4th down play against Auburn, hey, we're going for it. And everybody in the world would have kicked that field goal, but him. And if you're outside playing and it's, you know, it's us two against Shank and somebody else, we're not kicking a field goal, right? And he keeps saying, hey, I just want guys to go out and play ball. Do you think that's why he's had so much success in these pressure cooker games?
I mean, I think so to a certain point. I think it's a very unselfish locker room. You listen to the staff talk about Kalen DeBoer, and I haven't heard, you know, it's not like I'm up there every day, but I've been there a pretty good bit, and that entire supporting staff loves Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, everybody does.
And you don't get that kind of love unless you're a pretty unselfish guy and you take accountability for your own mistakes. And to me, that's pretty infectious within that building. So I think he genuinely cares about his players. You know, I think he's going to leave everything he has with Alabama. I don't think Kalen DeBoer is the kind of guy who's going to, you know, up and take another job during a playoff run.
Oh, you don't think he's going to go to Penn State this week? And take the whole offensive staff with him?
Oh,
you better be on the plane.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. Did I say that?
I think he's bought in. I think he loves Alabama. He loves being here. And again, I think the entire building feeds off of him. I think it's a tight knit group, and although we say a lot of things about stepping on their throats and you know, winning by more points and finishing games, I think that team and that whole administration's gotten really close, and they've blocked out all that outside noise, and they really believe in themselves. And to me, it shows in those pressure-packed situations.
Kirby's had a ton of success. You guys both played with Kirby on the coaching staff at Alabama when you were there and won championships with him. And we all respect him. I mean, he did it the right way. He stayed until the end, won, and then went to Georgia. 16-20 as Georgia's head coach.
There it goes.
Oh wow! But but he's 1-7 against Alabama.
Hey, it's hard. Hey, it's hard to beat Alabama, especially look. I think all these matchups. You can say what you want to say about Georgia being fired up to beat Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, at the same time, it's really annoying when you're at the top of the mountain, you're the guy, and you keep hearing all this noise about somebody else who's never really beaten you.
Mm-hmm.
And the only time they have is when you lost your two best players on offense.
Right.
And you're throwing a bunch of freshmen in there in a national championship game. So, I think that's plenty of added motivation, or probably as much or more motivation than Georgia has in never beating Alabama.
No, absolutely.
And I'm not counting that one win. I'm just not counting
it. Hey, I'm with you there, but at the end of the day, man, I know we make a fuss about all the things you said, winning by more points, doing this and that, but what they're doing is working.
Mm-hmm.
They're winning ball games. They're finding a way, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, because when we sit here and talk about that, I mean, you and I both know, we beat Tennessee my senior year, 19-14, and everybody's complaining about us only beating Tennessee by 5. And you and I both know we had a horrible game. We didn't play the way we wanted to play, and sometimes it just happens. But that locker room was so tight, the whole it was one big unit. And I mean, we weren't happy with it, but we moved on to the next game and tried to dominate the next one.
No, absolutely.
And it was a winning mentality the entire time.
You're right, because at the end of the day, it's a hard to win ball game. And you're absolutely. I tell my guys all the time, my high school football team, we went 5-5 this season.
Mm-hmm.
And after every win, whether they felt like we played good enough to win or not, I'd much rather learn a lesson from winning the game than losing the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I will continuously be on here talking about what we could have did, this, that, and the third, but I'll always be happy with a win.
Oh yeah.
Never.
And I heard Caleb Downs talking to David Pollock. I think it was one of those clips, but he's kind of comparing the SEC and the Big Ten. And Caleb Downs says, week in, week out in the SEC, you're playing dudes. Guys that could play. And in the Big Ten, you probably got 4 or 5 games where you got some real guys on the opposite side. And he later on says, but at the same time, a lot of these Big Ten teams beat SEC teams in the bowl game. I don't think the bowl games carry as much weight for SEC teams because you've been playing Super Bowls the entire year.
Yeah.
But when you got to play those games week in, week out, I mean, some of these guys, in Mobile, some of the best players you played against in high school ended up at Arkansas or I mean, I'm not saying in no way am I discounting Arkansas at all, but, I mean, a lot of guys slide under the radar and go to Arkansas instead of Alabama or instead of Auburn or the predominant schools with a lot of history. And those guys can play, man. And Arkansas is happy to have them in Alabama after letting those guys go somewhere else. Are like, damn, I wish we had that guy.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Mississippi State's another one. You remember Mario Cristobal talking about Mississippi State?
Yeah.
Where do they find these guys?
Right. Right. Man, you look at Mississippi State roll that O-line out. They like 6'7" across the board. You're like, why is the center 6'7"? But nah, man, those are real points because you said Arkansas, and I immediately thought of a guy, D lineman from Viger.
Phelan, yeah. I'm thinking of.
Went to Arkansas, ended up becoming an NFL guy. You know what I'm saying? Just out of Alabama. So it happens. It happens. And I mean, I think college football now is more leveled than ever, especially due to NIL. Like guys are going whoever got a little money to give them, you know what I'm saying, and they get an opportunity to play some ball, they going.
Oh yeah.
Who can blame you?
At this point, I love it, man. It's because it's any given Saturday at this point. You never know what'll happen. You never know. It's just like, who'd have thought we'd be sitting here in Vanderbilt be talking about getting in the playoffs.
Yeah, no kidding.
really.
The variables are far more unknown than
Way
they used
different.
to be.
Like, crazy.
Let me remind you guys about a couple things. First off, check out that hat. If you guys are listening on radio right now, you're missing a really sweet trucker hat that says Roll Tide, and it's got our logo, the Bama Tailgate Show logo in the middle. We're giving these away through Avenue D if you're not able to get to the Pie Factory next show. That's where we'll be giving some of these out. All you got to do is scan that QR code. Mick Nation will get you there. And what a great name. I'm just laughing because every time I say it, I take a lot of crap. But look, it's easy to find. Avenue D, that's our Web3 home. QR code right here on the Bama Tailgate Show screen. We do cash prizes. You pick games, all of that stuff. And again, if you're watching right now, make sure that you try to qualify to win one of these hats. When we come back, we're going to talk to Andrew Bone about recruiting. Bama with another great recruiting class. So more of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this.
Welcome to Game Day Grub, where Southern flavor meets Saturday football.
Hey everybody, I'm Carl Lewis, North Carolina Barbecue Pitmaster.
I'm Kevin Sport, and I love a good tailgate. Together we're on a mission to celebrate everything that makes game day sacred in the South. Whether you're posted up at the stadium or you fired up your grill back home.
We got the tips, tricks, and recipes to help you bring the heat this football season.
Okay, Petey, what we got?
Pity? Dude, I'm a pitmaster, not pity. Today we're turning up the fire with 2 recipes that's bold, spicy, and disciplined. Man, we're talking jalapeno laced, rub coated, sauce glazed grilled chicken wings. Man, as we call them, Saban Sizzlers.
I love it.
And full throttle flappers, baby.
That's what I call a touchdown.
All right, there's 3 parts to a wing. That's the flapper. We're gonna get rid of it. And it makes like a little heart.
Oh, cool. All right.
You want to get right behind that knuckle, cut it off.
So how many pounds are we dealing with, man?
We're running about 3 pounds today of each. We're gonna get half of them cut, and then the other half are gonna be seasoned up with John Boy and Billy chicken rub.
Mm-hmm.
The other half is going into jalapeno pickle juice. That pickled jalapeno juice gives a nice southern twang.
That's a Southern tradition.
It sure is. And it's gonna put a number on these wings, man. Cause I'm gonna put this under refrigeration for about 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna dice up some jalapenos here in just a second.
Okay.
And they're gonna sit on top on the Saban Sizzlers.
Even Saban would be proud.
I hope so. John Boy Billy chicken rub. You want to cook your skin up.
Gotcha. Some love on that.
We're gonna let these rest for 30 minutes, but the pro tip is to let them rest overnight. We're gonna cut up these jalapenos. I got a particular way, dude, I like to cut these, so I'm gonna show you, and you take it from there.
All right, cool. Show me. One side on. So what's so particular about the cut?
Just the way they sit on the wings, because when they're cooking, I don't want the jalapeno to cook away. I want it to cook down, but not completely away. Got that?
I got it.
Don't cut your finger.
No, I don't want to do that.
What you said.
How do you know how long to marinate these things? I mean, you just...
4 hours is perfect.
Okay.
4 hours is perfect for me.
Okay.
And it's gonna be for you.
Pretty good?
Yeah, just pat them down dry.
Just pat them down?
If they're wet, you won't get a crispy wing.
See, if you weren't here, I'd be lost.
You got to turn them the same damn way.
I mean, is that the OCD coming
Yeah.
out? That doesn't have anything to do with the flavor. It's just you.
I'm gonna show you a little something. Can I show you a little something?
Yeah, will you please do? Because I feel like I'm struggling with the...
Get up here.
I'll see there.
Get up here and
Now you're
Good.
showing off.
there you go. And the higher you get, the more gracefully it'll fall.
Oh, yeah.
If you're right down on it, it's gonna hit one spot. You ready, House?
I'm ready.
Let's take these to the cook shack.
What temperature are we talking about here?
350, 375. And cooking at a hotter temperature like that, you get the crispiest skin up on this chicken. And I'm gonna hit them with the John Boy and Billy hot and spicy, and we'll be ready to serve them up.
Let's roll.
See those peppers?
I see
How they
them.
wielded down?
I see it.
And they've been kissed by that smoke.
Yes,
Dude.
it sure has. Sure has.
that one a little
yeah.
heavy.
Oh, yeah. These are Saban.
These are Saban Sizzlers.
They're not going to last long.
That's what we're talking about, man.
That's right. Ready to roll. Here we got the marinade and the pickle. We got the full throttle flappers.
Jalapeno pickle juice.
Jalapeno pickle juice.
Pickled jalapenos.
Pickled jalapenos.
All right, let's get these people fed. You ready?
Let's go, Hoss. Yeah. If you like this one, stick around. We got more smoky, spicy tailgate tested treats coming your way. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe to Gating and Grilling on all the socials for all the flavor, fire, and tailgate tips you can handle. And don't forget, the party doesn't stop. Full episodes of Gating and Grilling drop after the season ends.
Alabama and Georgia playing in the SEC championship game. What a big one it is in Atlanta. And we're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk some recruiting. The recruiting class is in. I want to remind you that not only did Bama have a great recruiting class, but we got you covered here at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Yep, just started the year-end winter sales event, 0% for 60 months with also no payment for 90 days, which would be after the Super Bowl on brand new Santa Fe's and Tucson's. Great selection of these vehicles, and they have new Hyundais starting at $21,989. I'll tell you what, that is a great deal. Our friend Barry Buckner, our friend Brooke Meisner over there, going to take care of you guys, so make sure you swing over and check out Tuscaloosa Hyundai. And we had Barry on. Barry made Jake a turkey call, and he gave me a pen that he makes. So not only is he a great guy when you need a car, but he also is a guy that's creative. And another guy that's creative is this guy here from On3 and Bama Online, and that is Andrew Bone, our longtime friend, the guru of recruiting, man. Great to see you.
Good to see you, Mick. We used to do this pretty regularly back in the day, so good to get together with you again.
Yeah, we need to do more stuff, man. It's good to see your face. We love you. Everybody loves you on the show. You're very famous around these parts because you're the top guy when it comes to asking about recruiting classes and knowing all the details. So what do you think about Bama's recruiting class? Just kind of give me a breakdown. And did they get everyone that they thought they were going to get? And did we have any surprises?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, going back to last year, there was a lot of questions about how Coach DeBoer and the new staff would recruit at Alabama. And obviously they hit it out of the park in year one, signing a top 3 recruiting class. But going back to last year, everybody on signing day, they were wondering, where were all the in-state guys? Where were all the Southeastern guys? And we saw a little bit of a change in that this year. And not to say that they didn't go outside the state and recruit or outside the Southeast and recruit, but they really built some great relationships. Within about a 5-6 hour radius. For guys that they really wanted, guys that they pursued early in the process, guys that they evaluated thoroughly, and guys that they really wanted, and built some strong connections there. And I think when you look at this class, you have a lot of high-end guys, but you also have a lot of high-end guys that turned down a lot more money to go to Alabama, and a lot of that had to do with relationships. A lot of these relationships were built more than a year ago. Had these guys on campus, throughout last season, throughout this season. Of course, most of them committed before the season started. But I think, establishing those early connections with this recruiting class, certainly paid off in the end for Alabama when these guys, got ready to make decisions. We saw a big wave of summer commitments, as we always do, and that kind of takes out a lot of the drama and excitement when it comes a little bit closer to the early signing period, which I call it National Signing Day, because there's not really anything that's going on in February anymore. It's all happening the first Wednesday through Friday, pretty much the first Wednesday in December. So this is kind of the main event when we were really kind of watching everything, making sure all the guys that are committed sign, and who were going to be the surprises that end up potentially falling out. But overall, when you look at Alabama's class, I think they did a really good job of hitting on some key needs. Defensive line was such a big priority for them in this year's recruiting class. You signed 5 defensive linemen. I think last year I was wondering, how would Alabama be able to sway a top quarterback prospect after signing Keelan Russell last year, and they were able to do that with Jet Tamala out of Nebraska. State record holder, so many categories: career passing touchdowns, career passing yards, and he had an unbelievable senior season and won back-to-back state championships. Taden Kawa, another quarterback originally from Honolulu, but played the last 2 seasons in Utah at Orem High School, won a state championship this year as well. So you get 2 quarterbacks that are used to winning and know how to win. So getting 2 guys after signing Russell, certainly a big win there. But going back to the in-state, I think that they certainly hit a home run there, grand slam, I guess you could say. With guys like Xavier Kroll, 5-star running back, number 2 back in the country, out of Jackson High School. A kid that reclassified. He's technically a senior. He's that age group. He was held back. It wasn't like he got held back as a 9th grader or 10th grader or something like that, and then moved up. Or he's only 16 years old and decided to move up. He's actually he's either 17 or 18 now, and so he'll get to college and he'll be in his class. You get Cedarian Morgan, top 3 wide receiver in the country. You get Zion Gibson out of Gadsden City, defensive back. Camarion Johnson out of Muscle Shoals, and then you have a guy who kind of emerged late, Malik Franklin out of Daphne High School, defensive lineman.
That's my neighborhood.
Yeah, that's right.
LA, let's go.
Yeah, coached by former Alabama defensive lineman Kenny King, who was he's a pretty big recruit himself, coming out of Daphne back in the day, and then starting at Alabama. So you got to like the in-state haul. I think defensive back wise was another fantastic year. Mo Lindquist, I can't say enough about him and the defensive staff and the way that they've been able to recruit. I remember, Nick Saban retires. Everybody was freaking out. How is Alabama going to be able to continue recruiting at such a high level in the defensive backfield? You got to keep T-Rob, Travaris Robinson, who was on the staff and who done a really good job recruiting for Alabama during this time there. But if people go back and watch a little video that Alabama put out the other day, it talked about having that script A when you're walking through the door. That's going to help you out a lot more than actually who you are these days, and that can be said for players on the team, for coaches, and but I think with so much, I guess, anxiety from when T-Rob left and went to Georgia, and everybody's wondering if Alabama was ever going to be able to recruit high-quality defensive backs ever again. Those doubts have certainly been erased because you see what they were able to sign last year. Dejon Lee's a starter for Alabama heading into the SEC championship game as a true freshman. And then this year's cycle, you get Jaira Edwards, the number 1 safety in the country out of Baltimore, St. Francis, one of the best high school programs in the country. And then, Jordan Edmonds, another, very high quality, number 3 cornerback in the country out of Atlanta. These are these are players that so many schools were going after and, really wanted as a part of their program. And not to slam Georgia too much, but Jaira Edwards was the guy that had Georgia in his top 3. Jordan Edmonds had Georgia in his top 2. We saw it last year with Dejon Lee having Alabama and Georgia as his top 2 favorites before he makes a decision for Alabama. So even though you lost Nick Saban, even though you lost T-Rob to Georgia, Mo Lindquist and that staff, they've been able to come in, not just get players that are, they feel like are good, that are, within a 4 or 5 hour radius. They're getting guys that, that they went to war with against Georgia, against the coaching staff that all these Alabama fans were worried about the moment Coach DeBoer walked in. They're not worried anymore because they've seen the results off the field, and they've seen some results on the field as well. And hopefully, for Alabama, they're going to see similar results.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
This isn't just a place, it's a pulse and a rhythm, where game day is more than a tradition. Heart-pounding yet? It's where the flavors are bold and the portions are generous. Mouth-watering yet? Art, music, and culture paint the city's soul. Creativity flowing yet? So whether you come for the thrill, the taste, the beauty, or the tradition, you'll stay for the Tusca life. Ready to feel it? This is Tuscaloosa. Live the Tusca life.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause wins. And get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mezrano.
When you're ready to double down, dive in, drive for a show, and not look back. Roll into Pearl River Resort. From tee times to table games, water slides by day, slots by night. Savor the flavors, feel the fun, win big. Let's roll into Pearl River Resort. Must be 21 or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A night of rock you don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world!
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Back on the original Bama football tailgate show, talking Bama and Georgia and the SEC championship game. Great to have all of you guys with us. And let me tell you about our friend Steve Mezrano. He's going to join us here in just a second and talk a little bit of football. But he's one of the top 10 best of the best attorneys in 2024. And you talk about a guy that's got your back. He's got all the accolades to go with it. A top national trial attorney, one of the top 100, top 25 motor vehicle trial lawyers, and a top 10 trucking trial lawyer as well, and America's best advocates. And he's our guy hanging out with us here on the Bama Tailgate Show. But again, please like and subscribe, thumbs up as you guys watch us on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. And for those of you that are listening on radio, Roll Tide again, and thank you guys so much. But Steven, how's it going, man? Roll Tide. Can you hear us? I don't think you can hear us. Well, look, let's try to figure out what's going on with Steven, and let me kind of get this conversation going here. with you guys, the problem with modern technology, right? Bama and Georgia, when you talk about the SEC championship game, what are some of your best moments, Jake?
My best memories of the SEC championship game, we played Florida my senior year, and that was back on the old Georgia Dome. I think that was that the last SEC championship in the old Georgia Dome, Shank?
I feel like it was.
I think it was. Felt like we were playing on concrete too.
I mean, we were there a lot, so it runs together.
Hey, as soon as we got done, I felt like I got in a motorcycle crash.
It was definitely a far cry from the national championship game.
Yeah, it was.
That
What was weird about that too is back then I felt like the East was falling apart in the SEC. It had a lot of good players, but not a whole lot of great teams. And that was kind of the theme back. Georgia, we beat the hell out of Georgia that year, and Florida was kind of the next man standing over there in the East. But again, I've heard the conversations of opting out of the SEC championship. I just don't know. It's like we were talking to Mike 2 weeks ago about that possibility of, hey, does the SEC championship hurt you more than it helps you or not?
Mm-hmm.
But when you have that conversation with some of those guys on the 2017 team, and all those arguments about who's the best Alabama team that's won a national championship. You always got that leg up on the 2017 team because you just say, dude, y'all didn't even win that SEC championship.
You want to get that SEC championship game.
Hey, man.
But when you played at Alabama, you want to win them all.
You want to win them all. That's
if you
the
don't
point.
have the SEC championship, you're missing a feather in the cap.
Yeah, right.
Not a full ring set.
Yeah. You got the ring set.
They got 2 instead of 3.
Oh wow.
Because remember, we got what the playoff ring, the national championship ring, and the SEC ring.
Yeah, man.
So if you don't win the SEC, you only get 2 rings.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Steven, can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
All right, brother. Hey, what's your best SEC championship game memory? These guys, obviously, theirs is from winning in 2015. And, of course, Shank and Jay Coker. Mine is going to the 2009 SEC championship game when Alabama turned the corner. That was the day that the dynasty really started, when they beat Tebow, ended Florida's run. And it was really one of the most perfect games that Alabama ever played. When you think of SEC championships, which one?
Man, I was at the first one when Langham made the interception to beat Florida. So that, I think, always will stay with me as a Bama fan. But my favorite, I'm going to have to go to that one. I'm going to have to go to that one. That's going to be my favorite SEC championship game. And then because that's the first, I think that was the first SEC championship game. It was the first one that we went to at Legion Field. It was cold as all get out, and I was so happy that we beat Steve Spurrier and Shane Matthews that Saturday night.
Yeah, no doubt. I wonder if
that was Langham's pick 6.
It was the pick 6. It was a great day.
It was cold in that stadium, man. I remember it was cold. And I'm like, I did not come out here in this cold to lose.
Yeah, right. Well, and that's when the thing was. That was before there were playoffs in college football. It was 1 versus 2. What makes this interesting is that I feel like we may be at the end of the run of the SEC championship game, because if Bama, look, I'll tell you right now, if Bama loses this game and they don't make the college football playoff, it's dead. Sorry, no team want to be in it.
If you listen to Kirby over the last couple of weeks, I mean, he's kind of insinuating, why are we playing the championship game? Like, just pick apart his press conferences. It's like, yeah, what does it mean anymore if it knocks you out of the playoffs or you get hurt and you lose more players to the playoff game? So I think that something's going to come. Something's got to give, and it's got to come from it, or you got to give a bye week between the conference championship games and the playoffs, because these teams have got to rest.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point.
When is the first weekend of playoff play? Is it the weekend after the conference championships?
I think it's the 16th, 15th and 16th.
I thought it was the week after.
Yeah, man, I
could be wrong.
We need look, what's funny about once you make it through an SEC schedule. I remember when we played in the Senior Bowl my senior year, we had to walk across this stage and everybody had to look at you and take pictures and, all this and that. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I got a broken toe. I've had a separated throwing shoulder. I hadn't lifted weights in like 4 months, probably 4 months, because just gotten the hell beat out of me for a few weeks. And by the end of the season, you're just limping through it,
right?
Trying to just piece yourself together and win a national championship. And I've heard the arguments of playing more games, and that's probably necessary for Vanderbilt. I know Clark Lee has been talking about playing extra games.
Yeah.
Maybe it's necessary for those teams kind of on the outskirts of the playoff. But, Alabama, Georgia playing each other right before the playoff, that is going to be about an accumulation of 40 car wrecks over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And you do risk that possibility. Having said that, I'm a pretty hardcore traditionalist. I love the conference championships. I love putting a crown on the SEC champion at the end of the year. And like we just said, historically, you don't win the SEC championship, at least among Alabama alums. That's something we can talk trash about because there's been a few teams that have won
30,
national championships.
30 and then 18.
Well, all right, well, put it to you this way, Jake. You guys played. What's the difference if you play SEC championship, go to the college playoffs, and then the next year you're going to a bowl game? Like, how does that even compete to a player? You don't want to go to a bowl game, do you? If you couldn't win the conference and play in the national title game, do you?
No, I think Coach Saban's made that. He's made that argument for the players before. It's like the Sugar Bowl back in 2013. It's like the Sugar Bowl back in 2008 when we played Utah. I think you show up at these bowl games without meeting your own expectations of a national championship. And look, I do not think the momentum or the motivation is there. I think guys want to win those games. Everybody wants to go in and win those games, but there's something tugging at you like you're missing something when you show up and you're not playing for a national championship. And that's your expectation from your fan base, your school, yourself. Every Alabama team going into a season thinks they're winning a national championship. That's the plan. If it's not a national championship, then you're letting your whole fan base down and you're not living up to expectations. So, yeah, playing for a consolation prize, I think definitely plays into some of these on a broader scope, the SEC losses to other teams. I think other teams look at playing SEC teams and think they can knock them off and make a statement at the end of the year when SEC teams are like, I've played all these teams throughout the season. We got a bowl game against, a 3-loss, 4-loss Michigan team. And while it is historical, it's not the playoff like we expected. May not be what everybody wants to hear, but
it's the truth.
It's kind of, it is what it is.
Why not? I know this sounds really bad, but I thought about this. What if Alabama and Georgia rested their key players and played second, third string, or some of the backups throughout the game just because they know Georgia knows if it loses, it's going to the playoffs?
Can't do it.
You can't, but I'm just saying, why would you not? Why would you not? Would you not play very conservative if you're Georgia just to get out unscathed to go get a national championship?
Man, that's a bad culture. That's a bad culture move right there.
Well, in our way, but what would have been better is for Vanderbilt to play Oklahoma to see who gets in, and not it be for an SEC championship. Bama's the number 1 seed. That means they're the champ. And then you get those two going
to keep the playing game. Yeah, to keep the number 1 seed in the best conference in the country out is the only way I can see that happen is if Georgia beats us 45-0. And that's it. And even saying that, we've got a lot of guys out. They've got a lot of guys out. It's been a long season, and we're in the middle. We're in survivor mode,
right,
to a certain degree.
Well, I don't know.
Having said that, there's no excuses. There's no excuses. It's us versus Georgia, and we've won 10 out of the last 11, and I don't expect that to change. But you got to put your best foot forward if there's a game ahead on the schedule.
How does it affect us with LT Overton out? His impact on the defense what is he sick or is it? Does anybody know why he's out? I know they reported some type of medical issue or injury or health reason that he's out. Is that just for this game? Is that permanent? Does anybody know? And how does that affect that Alabama defense? I mean, obviously those guys have stepped up all year. When guys are down, they've rotated in, and I've been so happy with the way the defense has stepped up this year. Is that going to be that big of a loss to us, or do you think we'll rise back up defensively?
Man, obviously I think him being a key player to hurt a good bit, but I think with our experience that we've developed over the season with young guys being pressed into action early on and often, I think we'll be fine. I think guys have been able to step up throughout the season and they've gained valuable experience on the field that you don't get on the sideline. And so I think they'll be able to step up to the plate in this big of a situation.
And I haven't seen, the biggest story to me, or one of the biggest stories to me on this Alabama football team, you watch that defense over the last year and a half. I mean, you're seeing a complete and total transformation. And even from the beginning of the year, you're not seeing those gash runs. You're not seeing those busts on defense where guys are, Kalen's making good calls, but guys are overrunning routes or misjudging balls and plays are going for 40, 60, 30 yards for touchdown. You're not seeing that anymore. It's a lot cleaner. Guys are understanding that scheme a lot better. They're where they're supposed to be. Kalen DeBoer, Kane Womack to me has done among all the coaches. I think you've got him and Brent Venables probably the two best guys or two best performers from a defensive perspective, coaching football and getting guys on the right page. I don't think there's two better guys in the country right now outside of Kane Womack and Brent Venables.
No, I agree. And think about some of the classics that these two teams have played in Atlanta. Why is Alabama like playing in Atlanta so much? But you got the Amari Cooper game in 2012. That was up until you guys won in 2015. That I was on Crimson Tide Sports Network doing the basketball game with Brian Passink. I missed that one. Your game, that national championship, was makeup because it was that same type of game. High pay, just crazy. Nonstop win at the end. And I remember telling Mike and Barron, I was sitting with them at the game, like, this was my makeup for that. And then you got Jalen Hurts had the game. We beat him really bad one year, right? That was the year we lost to him in the national championship. And then 2023, Jalen Milroe and the gang took care of business. But we've played Georgia 4 times in this game, won all 4 of them. 3 of them have been great.
Yeah.
All 4 of them have been great.
Well, great
I like
I'm talking about classic games, though.
Well, hey, I saw a statistic last night, and Jake was talking about Caleb Downs. Do you know Bray Hubbard's got better statistics than Caleb Downs? More tackles, more interceptions, more forced fumbles, more. I mean, if you look at statistics, it's like they're giving him all the love, but I mean, Bray Hubbard needs a lot more love, I think, from the national media and what he's doing in the SEC day in and day out.
The greatest impact on this season was losing to Florida State week 1.
Absolutely.
Bray Hubbard, after that clip came out of him jogging during that game, and for him to come back and be one of the leaders, to me, he's probably the most physical tackler on defense in the secondary. He's where he's supposed to be all the time, and when he hits with authority and he hits with precision placement of his helmet and hands. I mean, he's doing everything right. I think he is locked in. There's no doubt what his biggest focus is at the moment, and that's winning games and being the best teammate it can be for this Alabama defense. It is crazy to me how he has not gotten more notoriety from the national media. It's ridiculous.
Steven, in 30 seconds, tell everybody about you.
Guys, if you're injured in Iraq, give us a call. 909,000 across the state. We go to war for our clients. You can ask anybody that we represented. I've been through it. I know what you go through, and I will make sure that you are compensated and that you understand the process. We'll take care of you all the way. That's the easy, short version.
There we go. Well, thank you for jumping on, Steve Mezrano, part of the crew each week, and we appreciate hanging out with you, Roll Tide brother. Hey, let me tell you guys that the show's brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling is a 6th-generation company, and our friend Cheryl Yuengling, who's part of the company's ownership, is a proud Alabama grad. There's a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles, and don't forget about Yuengling Flight. That is their answer to Mick Ultra. It's great, and it's available in Alabama. When we come back, we're going to open the second hour with Chris Lowe from On 3. More of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this.
Welcome to Game Day Grub, where Southern flavor meets Saturday football.
I'm Carl Lewis, North Carolina Barbecue Pitmaster.
And I'm Kevin Sport. I love the South, I love a tailgate, and I love some football. Whether you're smoking in Alabama or whether you're firing that grill up in a lot in South Carolina, we've got the tips, the bites, the tricks to make your tailgate one to remember. What's the play today, Coach Carl?
Today we're taking it to the end zone, Hoss. I call them tailgate tacos.
Tailgate tacos.
Tacos and football are a no-brainer. But today we're turning it up a notch with smoke, spice, and a muffin tin.
A muffin tin?
Absolutely, Hoss.
Dude, are we making cupcakes today?
Not today, we're making flavor. Dang, Kevin, what in the heck? Get that apron on.
All right, so just a little bit of spray in the pan.
A little spray. We got flour and corn tortillas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you do the flour, I'm gonna do the corn. I'm gonna show you how to do it first.
All right.
And watch me, go to the center and cut you a little slit out.
Okay,
See
cut
that? You ever seen Pac-Man?
I used to spend hours playing that game. Okay.
Now fold it and make a cone.
Fold it like that.
Yes.
And make a cone.
You kind of push down real gently. You don't want to tear the bottom out of it. You know you're cutting this slit in it, right?
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna go with our cheese first.
Okay.
That's gonna become the glue that holds the shell together.
Okay.
So when we take it out, it don't flop.
All right. So how does the cheese look? Is that good?
Cheese looks good.
Okay.
Here's the pretty.
All right. Oh, yes, they are. All right. So what's next now?
Get your diced jalapeno in there.
Okay. This looks great.
And then the star of the show, we got to load up with the shrimp.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What kind of shrimp is best to get?
Here's the thing, man. If you got a local market or like we are down on the coast, they bring them in fresh daily.
What kind are you using
But
here?
you can also, if you go to your grocery store, get you some frozen shrimp.
Yeah.
That's fine for this dish.
Okay. All right, cool.
When we top it off with the John One Billy Hot and Spicy,
Yeah.
it's just an explosion of flavor in your mouth.
Oh, I'm loving it.
When these things cook, they're gonna start curling, and when
Okay.
they form a C, they're done. When they form a O,
O?
they're overdone.
So C is for cooked, O is for overcooked.
C is for Carl. Got the cook shack running at 350.
Mm-hmm. About how long are we going to cook these now?
Man, these are gonna run about 15 minutes.
Okay. You know, we got a little time, and I got a cornhole board.
Cornhole?
Yeah.
Man, I hadn't played that in years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Back in 1985, I was a backyard champion in North Carolina.
Really, huh?
Yeah.
85, you say?
Yeah, you don't believe that?
Oh, I believe it. How about this?
I'm listening.
The winner gets to eat all the tacos, and the loser,
What's the loser got to do?
they got to make the next batch of tacos for everybody. Tell me
I'm
what.
into that.
Are you?
I want to see you working your butt off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
85 champion.
You got it.
Okay, you're on.
You laughing now.
Here we go. Here we go. Dang, Carl.
What?
Man, you're a lot better than I thought you were.
I'm a little rusty, Hoss.
Rusty?
1985 has been a long time ago.
You're not rusty.
Come on. Got to keep it on the board, Hoss. to
I
win.
know it. I know it. You're a cornhole hustler. Jeez, man. Oh, yeah.
Wow. They are beautiful.
They're looking good.
See how they formed a C and not an O?
I do.
These, they're perfect. See all the colors? Now they're all mingling together and pretty.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Go ahead and try it, Hoss.
Oh, man, I can't wait. This is just absolutely spectacular.
What do you think about
It's
my muffin tin idea now?
You know what? You made a believer out of me. What comes first? I mean, we got the cheese, we got... It's a little overwhelming over here.
You found out today, didn't you?
Uh-huh. Yeah, don't trust the pit master.
Trust?
Yeah.
It ain't about trust. It was about I was better than you are.
Next time, we're gonna play something else. That's right. Next time, I'm gonna break out the guitar.
Hey, y'all, if these tailgate tacos aren't on y'all's party spread, you're just watching the game, not playing it. Y'all be sure to make all the subscriptions to all this social media stuff. Subscribe to all your social media for all the check gating and grilling out on all your social medias. We got more top recipes for your tailgate coming at you. Because grilling doesn't stop when the football season ends. Full episodes coming out after the football season. See y'all at the tailgate.
The original Bama Football Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker and CoverCrimson.com host Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented by Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play! Featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. Also brought to you by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Luxury with a national championship service department. Yingling Lager. Yingling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. The Floribama world famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of Fine Art Editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code Bama Tailgate for amazing deals at NewLifeArt.com.
And also brought to you by Visit Tuscaloosa, where tradition meets adventure. Alabama personal injury lawyer Steve Mezrano. Mezrano wins, we got you.
Now the host of the original Bama Tailgate Show, here's Mick Gillispie.
Welcome back to the Bama Tailgate Show, SEC Championship Edition. Alabama and Georgia in the Dome again. And for the Crimson Tide, they try to beat Georgia for a second straight time. And to talk about it, we've got Chris Lowe from On 3. Before we get there, though, I want to tell you guys about Sevierville. Visit Sevierville. Great time to hit the Smoky Mountains right now. You talk about Christmas, all the Christmas lights. Winterfest is underway. And I can't wait to get there. Going to do that myself here in a few weeks. You guys should too.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville. Say it with me now. It ain't that hard. Sevierville. Give me some fin. Your Smokies start here.
And then for those of you that are listening on radio, that is a talking bass. And he throws up his fin. Give me some fin. I'm going to give some fin to my friend here, Chris Lowe. He's been an awesome part of the show this year. Made the switch from ESPN to On 3 right at the beginning of the season, and he has been smoking out content, and I think the best place to go get your content, and that is On 3. So good to see you, Chris. Here we go. Bama takes care of business against Auburn. Game was a little tighter than I thought it was going to be. But you know what? At the end of the day, Bama covered. Now they got to take on Georgia. Georgia had a fight against Georgia Tech. Both teams banged up. But here we go again. Kirby against Kalen DeBoer for the third time and the second time this season.
Yeah, the SEC championship game, Mick, a.k.a. the Alabama-Georgia Invitational, because that's what it's become, man. These two teams are no strangers playing in the postseason, even in a national title game. Now, the faces have changed a little bit. Nick Saban's not standing on the sideline. But still, I think these two teams have, to me, epitomized the SEC in strength over the last decade plus. And maybe it's only fitting that they play again this year. It will be the second time. I don't think either team – they met twice, in 21, I guess, or 23. But they met a lot. And I don't think either team is as good or talented as those two teams you met in Indy. They're good, but they're not as good. And they've sort of had to – they mirror each other in some ways that they've had to win some tough, ugly, grinded out kind of games. You know, in some games, Georgia's given up a lot of points. The Tennessee game, some games that neither team has been able to score. Georgia scores 16, last week against Georgia Tech. I was at the Iron Bowl last Saturday. Alabama did not play what I would call an A football game, but they played well enough to win. And to me, what's been Bama's calling card is when they've had to make plays or make stands, when their defense has been called upon to, make a game-changing play, a turnover, even a defensive touchdown, they've been able to do it, Mick. And I think that when you go into the postseason, even though you maybe aren't the most talented team in the country, I don't think Bama is. I don't think Georgia is. I'd say that Ohio State is a more talented football team than both of them. And you might make a case that there are a couple more that are more talented. But both these teams, though, have found ways to win. And again, I think that goes back to what I was talking about a minute ago, the culture at each place, tradition, and the way the players just sort of seem to have a knack on both sides of doing what they need to do when they need to do it. And, I give Kalen DeBoer all the credit in the world. I really do. He was under big-time fire when the season started. And he has changed. He has changed. He's not changed as a person. Kalen is one of the most decent, good dudes that I know in coaching. But he has changed his approach and the way he's coached and communicated with his football team. I was talking to Deontay Lawson after the game Saturday, and he talked about it. And the way the players responded, the way Kalen and his staff tweaked what they did, how they did it, their messaging to really get across to this football team. And it's paid dividends. So coaches, even as successful as Kalen, he played for the national title last year. He's won everywhere he's been. The best coaches always evolve. They always adapt to their situations. And coaching at Bama is different than coaching at Washington. And again, to Kalen's credit and his staff's credit, they were able to make that transition. And here they are, again, playing for another SEC title. And to get to the playoff after missing it last year, that was a big deal. If you'd have told me before the season, Mick, or any Bama fan said, hey, Bama's not going to make the playoff for a second straight year. Well, you know how that would have gone over Tuscaloosa, like the old proverbial you-know-what in the Punch Bowl. And so here they got a shot. And I think they're in anyway. Greg Byrne, Bama's AD, cornered me after the game Saturday and said, there's no way we're not already in. And I'm like, no, I don't see the committee, as goofy as it's been, penalizing a team that gets to its conference championship if it loses.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't last year with SMU, and that kept Alabama out. So, you're going to keep Alabama out if they lose to Georgia, a team they've already beat, handed them their only loss this season. A tough team, one of the best teams in the country, consistently maybe the best team since Nick Saban retired or even before that. But Bama, for some way or reason, some rhyme or reason, has figured out a way to beat these guys. They've won 11 out of 12. They've beaten them, pretty much the last few seasons. They've been good games. They've beaten them in this venue. They lost one time, and it was a rematch. So 10 out of 11, right? It's 10 out of 11 now. Do you think there's any kind of mental deal going with Georgia, or is it just been Bama's just been a touch better in these games?
Well, they played better. I don't know if they've always been a better team, but they have played better and played bigger and bigger situations, I think is the way I would say it. I mean, knowing Kirby Smart as I do, I don't think anything ever is really mental with him. But, it does sometimes wear off on the periphery to a program, to maybe people on the staff and to kids. Kids read about it. They know. I mean, a lot of these kids on Georgia's team, most of them haven't been around other than the one game this year earlier for a lot of these losses. But they hear about it. They read about it. It's, it's all over social media. So I do think that sometimes when you see one team have the other's number, the way Bama has Georgia, it does have somewhat of an impact. I don't think for Kirby and the way he prepares his football team, how ready they won't be for this game, I don't think it will, because Kirby has created, the kind of mechanism there in Athens with that football team that they're always ready to go. Now, they don't play maybe A-plus football all the time, but you just hardly ever see a Georgia football team that goes into a game, certainly on a big stage like this, and isn't focused and ready and wants to be, as Kirby says, the hunter. So It's going to be a good game. And I think the fact that Bama has sort of dominated, well, not sort of, they have dominated this series, adds spice to it. You know it does. Now, Kirby would have never in a million years would admit that he really wants to beat Alabama's backside because they've beaten his backside. We're the only team that has. I mean, his run's been incredible. But, you know, it's always that one, even in life, man, there's that one thing that bothers you. You just can't shake. And for Georgia and Kirby, it's been Alabama. Even after Nick retired, I mean, Kalen's beaten him 2 straight years. And you know the competitor that Kirby is and just how dialed in he is to being the best and winning championships and getting his team to play at their best. That's something that's, I guarantee it's something down deep that's eating at him.
Yeah. Look, I mean, and sometimes when you want something really bad, it becomes that much harder to get. But you got to go out there and play this game. The one thing that I can say is that a lot of Alabama fans are concerned playing Georgia twice, knowing what happened in the national championship game. But Bama had a ton of injuries in that game to wide receivers by the end that cost them. I think if Williams stays healthy, I think they win that game. So, you know,
they would have won.
I
was there. They would have won the game. There's no doubt.
In control at that point. Nobody to throw to after that. Now, this one's going to be different. You got a lot of injuries here. You talked about it. Bama loses. We feel like they're in. The committee moved them in front of Notre Dame in the standings, which should have happened anyway before that. But another win against another, which I feel like is a tough opponent, playing Auburn on the road. But now you got to play Georgia twice. You know, we talked about Kirby and DeBoer. I look at this and go, look, DeBoer beat Dan Lanning twice when he was at Washington in that championship game. And I believe it was the championship game that year in Oregon. I don't know. All I know is that no one thought that Washington could beat Oregon twice that year, and he did it, right? So it's not like the guy doesn't have precedence.
Well, look at his record against ranked teams. Nobody, I don't think any active coach in football has a better record against nationally ranked teams than Kalen. And those, to me, now, I understand what teams ranked at the time of the game. Sometimes teams fall off. But I still think that counts for something. When you play them, that team is good enough at that point to be a nationally ranked team. It is hard. If you look back at other examples, Mick, it is really hard to beat a team twice in a season. Win that second game. Of course, it's not going to be anything other than a postseason game. You go back to 11 when Bama and LSU played twice. You know, LSU, both those teams were much more talented than these two teams. That 11 Bama team and 11 LSU team, 40-some draft picks off those two teams, something just incredible. LSU wins in Tuscaloosa. They come back and play in New Orleans. Alabama dominates that football team game and wins. You mentioned the national championship game. Bama wins in the SEC title game, but then loses to Georgia in the national title game. So it's a hard. I mean, you're really swimming upstream when you have to beat a really good football team twice, and then do it again. And I'm sure there's other examples of games. Well, I remember Auburn in 2017. Remember Auburn beat in back-to-back weeks. They beat Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah, crazy.
To get into the SEC title game, but had to play Georgia again, or would have been in the playoff, and lost to Georgia in that rematch. It's just difficult to do. But I think winning in Athens, to me, when you go to somebody else's place and win, they hadn't lost, by the way, in 33 straight games. There, to me, is nothing mentally or emotionally or psychological for Alabama going into this game that should be working against them, because they beat them at their place this year.
Yeah, spread's like pretty much even. Georgia's a very, very slight favorite in this one. And despite all the injuries, these teams are going to be, they're going to play the game the right way. They're going to be disciplined. Crowd's going to be amazing. This game in Atlanta is what the SEC is all about. The two best teams, Bama and Georgia. They've been the two best teams for a long time. They meet again. And so definitely excited about Alabama taking on Georgia. And then I'm glad that you say they're in the playoff, because it'll make it a little bit easier watching the game. If they get blown out, could they possibly get bumped?
Man, I'm not going to get. I mean, who knows? The data point references and all the comments made every week. I mean, I scratched my head a little bit more. I mean, what the hell is going on inside that committee meeting room? What are they thinking? Who's saying what? And I think part of the problem is that you got a bigger committee, a lot of people on there who all sort of see it, Mick, through different lenses.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Why walk when you can fly? Tap into your inner eagle. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Touchdown flavor, Gulf Coast style. Whether you're here for the big game or just hungry for a win, Floribama Old River Grill has you covered. Catch every pass, every play, and every moment on our wall of big screens while you enjoy fresh Gulf seafood, legendary burgers, and ice-cold drinks. With waterfront views and game day energy like no other, this is where football meets paradise. Grab your crew, bring your team spirit, and make Floribama Old River Grill your home field advantage this season, where the food, drinks, and football are always a win. Located across from the world-famous Floribama or online at FloriBamaOldRiverGrill.com.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause Liz wins, and get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mezrano.
Don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
Back on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, hanging out with you guys and talking about the Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs, as we always do. This segment is presented by our friends at Pearl River Resort and the Timeout Sports Lounge, which is in Golden Moon Casino, part of Pearl River Resort on the complex. You're talking about the Timeout Sports Lounge offering traditional sports betting in which guests can bet on professional sports and major collegiate sports, 20 big screen TVs with all the feeds to the major sports networks, 12 state-of-the-art wager boards. You got 3 wager stations, full bar, all of that stuff right there. An hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham. And we appreciate them for being part of what we do. And if you would have taken my advice and bet Bama against Auburn last week, you would have won. It is great to have our friend join us from the north part of Alabama and into Tennessee. And that would be the big dog himself, Mr. Tom Abraham, who's got a huge family too, and they play football every year up there.
Yeah.
He's got, how many kids is it? It's like 11 of you guys.
Well, we got 9 kids, 14 grandkids, all of them boys except for 8 of them. But otherwise, yeah, we had a really good Turkey Bowl. I'm the referee now. I don't play any longer, but I do use the flag to keep the game close. So I am very judicious on the calls that I'll make to make sure that the game stays close. But it was a good game. We had a lot of fun with it.
Well, meet Jake Coker. You know him. Alphonse Taylor. You know him as Shank. Always great to see you, Tom. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone in Huntsville. All right. I know I can see Jake wanting to talk about some family football games. I know he used to get beat up.
Tom sounds like an SEC referee.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been lucky. I've had NFL Hall of Famers play in our Turkey Bowl. I've had some kids that grew up. Ryan Poles, who's now the GM of the Bears, when he was 8 years old, he played in our Turkey Bowl. He and his dad and I were roommates together when we were college football coaches. And Brad Hopkins and his son went on to play in the Super Bowl as a tight end. Bryson Hopkins, they played in Turkey Bowl. So our Turkey Bowl's got a lot of history. We've had some studs in that game.
Sounds like it. Well, look, let's talk about some of these big games going on right now. This is an enormous game in the country. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana.
Yeah.
4, Indiana picking up 4 points, although this is going to be a home game for Indiana. Let me tell you something. Indianapolis is going to be packed full of Hoosiers. 47.5 is the over-under in this game. I can't wait to see it. Tom, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on this one?
Do you really think there'll be more Hoosier fans than Ohio State Buckeye fans? I mean, they kind
my
of live
words.
there too. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I think tonight the crowd will be no worse than 50-50 the split there. Look, Ohio State's been down this path before. It is the ultimate meaningless game, unless the only way I could see if one or the other were to get blown out, could they get knocked out of the top 4? Maybe, get pushed down a little bit to a home game in the first round. I think they're both locked into the top 4. I like a lot of the things that Indiana does, but man, Ohio State was pretty impressive on the road at Michigan. I like Ohio State. I like Ohio State to cover. And I think this is the time of year that they shine. And I think that there's a difference between Ohio State and everyone else right now. I'll take Ohio State. I'll lay to 4.5.
All right, Jake.
I'm excited to watch this game because I still feel like I don't know a ton about either team. I don't feel like they've been tested week in, week out. Ohio State beats Texas, who at least 3 losses in the SEC, has not been the most impressive SEC team. I know they're coming off an A&M win, but when you look at A&M's schedule, probably the easiest SEC schedule of within the entire conference. I think we learn a lot about both teams, but I think Ohio State edges them out. I think there's more talent on that side.
What about you, Shank?
Ooh, man. I'm going to be the wild card. I'm going to go with Indiana here. I want to go with them. I like what they're doing. They got a Heisman candidate at quarterback as well. And that's not an award we just give out. He's earned it, and I think they've earned their respect. I really like that coach, man. He does a good job, and he's clearly built a winning culture there over a short period of time. And I think they're going to be the biggest test for Ohio State this season. I think they have a complete team, and it's going to be a good game, but I'm rocking with Indiana.
Yeah, me too. I'm going with Indiana too, because this is the biggest game that Indiana's played in football in a long time. When they went out to Oregon and beat the Ducks, it was a big deal. If this was in the playoff, I'd take Ohio State, but Ohio State cares about as much about this game as everybody in the SEC cares about it. It just doesn't mean anything anymore to them. Indiana hadn't won a championship since like the 60s. I think they're going to be fired up to try to win one and beat Ohio State. Now, this one, Tom, is one that's really drawn a lot of controversy, and that's because Duke, instead of Miami, is playing in the ACC championship game against number 17 Virginia. Virginia's a 3.5-point favorite. 57.5's the over-under. If Duke wins this game, it's going to cause chaos.
It'll cause chaos. It may put Miami in as an at-large, because Duke's not going as the ACC champion, certainly. So does that push Miami in or not? I guess, it's going to the full totality, including everything that went on last night, has to be considered on it if Duke wins. But if you're a chaos lover, yeah, not only are you a Duke fan, you're pulling for your BYU as well today. Those that want chaos, that's what they're pulling for. Alabama fan, you want Virginia to win this game, and you want Texas Tech to go ahead and squash BYU, and so everything just kind of comes out the way it should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that. I see that Jake's admiring the picture in the background. For those of you on radio, you wouldn't know this, but Tom actually has a picture of Jake throwing a football behind him as he talks. Jake?
Tom, that's a good-looking background.
Deep ball coker.
What do you think, Jake?
This matchup, to me, it shows me how just abysmal the ACC is. I haven't watched a ton of Virginia, hadn't watched a whole lot of Duke. And the reason for that is because neither one is going to make a run in the playoff. And, maybe Miami gets in a large bid. They should over Notre Dame if Notre Dame's even talked about, in my opinion. But I'll take Virginia. I think they end up covering this game.
All right, Shank.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Duke. I like going against the grain.
Here we go.
Shank's a rebel.
Yeah, I like going against the
Why
grain.
not, right? It's the ACC.
I mean, it's the ACC, and Duke has nothing to lose and everything to gain from this game, man. And Virginia's had a good season, but it's not what they really want. They want to be a playoff contender. 17 so close, right? And so I think Duke wants to finish this season off the right way. I think they'll come out and they got something to prove, man. Everybody clearly thinks Miami's the best team out of the ACC, but Duke's in the championship game, and so they want to prove they belong.
Yep, tiebreakers. Listen, we're going to talk about the Alabama game when we come back from this segment. Let me remind you, though, that the Bama Tailgate Show is brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling is a sixth-generation company, and our friend Cheryl Yuengling, who was hanging out with us for the Oklahoma show at Innisfree, is a proud Alabama grad, and she's also an Alabama she's a proud Alabama grad, and she's part of the company's ownership. And there's a little bit of Crimson love in each one of those green bottles. And also try Yuengling Flight. We got the Yuengling neon sign lit in the studio. When we come back with Tom Abraham, we are going to talk about the big game, Alabama against Georgia. And we're going to get into that right after this.
Welcome to Game Day Grub, where Southern flavor meets Saturday football.
Hey, everybody, I'm Carl Lewis, North Carolina Barbecue Pitmaster.
I'm Kevin Sport, and I love a good tailgate. Together, we're on a mission to celebrate everything that makes game day sacred in the South. Whether you're posted up at the stadium or you fired up your grill back home.
We got the tips, tricks, and recipes to help you bring the heat this football season.
Okay, Petey, what we got?
Pity? Dude, I'm a pitmaster, not pity. Today, we're turning up the fire with two recipes that's bold, spicy, and disciplined. Man, we're talking jalapeno laced, rub-coated, sauce-glazed grilled chicken wings. Man, as we call them, Saban Sizzlers.
I love it.
And full throttle flappers, baby.
That's what I call a touchdown.
All right, there's 3 parts to a wing. That's the flapper. We're gonna get rid of it. And it makes like a little heart.
Oh, cool. All right.
You want to get right behind that knuckle, cut it off.
So how many pounds are we dealing with, man?
We're running about 3 pounds today of each. We're gonna get half of them cut, and then the other half are gonna be seasoned up with John Boy and Billy chicken rub.
Mm-hmm.
The other half is going into jalapeno pickle juice. That pickled jalapeno juice gives a nice southern twang.
That's a southern tradition.
It sure is. And it's gonna put a number on these wings, man. Because I'm gonna put this under refrigeration for about 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna dice up some jalapenos here in just a second.
Okay.
And they're gonna sit on top on the Saban Sizzlers.
Even Saban would be proud.
I hope so. John Boy Billy chicken rub. You want to cook skin up.
Gotcha. Some love on that.
We're gonna let these rest for 30 minutes, but the pro tip is to let them rest overnight. We're gonna cut up these jalapenos. I got a particular way, dude, I like to cut these, so I'm gonna show you,
All right,
and you
show
take
me.
it from there.
All right, cool. Show me. One side on. So what's so particular about the cut?
That's the way they sit on the wings, because when they're cooking, I don't want the jalapeno to cook away. I want it to cook down, but not completely away. Got that?
I got it.
Don't cut your finger.
No, I don't want to do that.
What you said.
How do you know how long to marinate these things? I mean, you just
4 hours is perfect.
Okay.
4 hours is perfect for me,
Okay.
and it's going to be for you.
Pretty good.
Yeah, just pat them down dry.
Just pat them down.
If they're wet, you won't get a crispy wing.
See, if you weren't here, I'd be lost.
You got to turn them the same damn way.
I mean, is that the OCD coming
Yeah.
out? That doesn't have anything to do with the flavor. It's just you.
I'm going to show you a little something. Can I show you a little something?
Yeah, will you please do? Because I feel like I'm struggling with the.
Get up here.
I'll see there.
Get up here. And
Now you're
Okay.
showing off.
there you go. And the higher you get, the more gracefully it'll fall.
Oh, yeah.
If you're right down on it, it's going to hit one spot. You ready, House?
I'm ready.
Let's take these to the cook shack.
What temperature are we talking about here?
350, 375. And cooking at a hotter temperature like that, you get the crispy skin up on this chicken. And I'm going to hit them with the John Boy and Billy hot and spicy, and we'll be ready to serve them up.
Let's roll.
See those peppers?
I see
How they
them.
wielded down?
I see it.
And they've been kissed by that smoke.
Yes.
Dude.
Sure has. Sure
Ooh,
has.
that one a little
yeah.
heavy.
Oh, yeah. These are saving.
These are saving scissors.
They're not going to last long.
That's what we're talking about, man.
That's right. Ready to roll. Here we got the marinade and the pickle. We got the full throttle flappers.
Jalapeno pickle juice.
Jalapeno pickle juice.
Pickled jalapenos.
Pickled jalapenos.
All right, let's get these people fed. You ready?
Let's go, Hoss. Yeah. If you like this one, stick around. We got more smoky, spicy tailgate tested treats coming your way. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe to Gating and Grilling on all the socials for all the flavor, fire, and tailgate tips you can handle. And don't forget, the party doesn't stop. Full episodes of Gating and Grilling drop after the season ends.
All right, Alabama and Georgia. We're previewing it on the Bama Tailgate Show. I want to remind you guys, too, that, and I've got the swag right here. For those of you that are listening on radio, you can come by the Pie Factory for our next live show, which will be, we'll find out when Bama's playing, but we'll be there at some point. So check the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel or social media. You'll find out. But anyway, for those of you that don't want to wait, you can win one of these hats right here. This is the Bama Football Tailgate Show trucker hat. It says Roll Tide. It's got our logo in the middle. And you can do that at Avenue D. And we're really happy to be part of Avenue D. It's our Web3 home, Mick Nation. So I'm going to give what's wrong?
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, should it be Jake Nation? Shank Nation? If it was Shank Nation, would you like it better?
That would sound like a criminal.
You need to figure out a way to incorporate Gillispie.
Mick Nation, guys, hit that QR code. And if you're listening on radio right now, go to our YouTube channel, Bama Tailgate. We give these away for weekly prizes. And I'm actually going to give you guys 2 of them right there. So here you go. Oh, thank you. There you go. And we got Tom Abraham, 97.7 ESPN The Zone in North Alabama. He's known as the Big Dog, joining us as we talk Alabama and Georgia. Tom, I'm going to start with you. Can Bama beat Georgia twice in one season?
Well, sure they can. And I hope that when they do, or if they do, that the fans will get off of Kalen DeBoer's jock, for God's sakes. I mean, if he wins a SEC championship in his second season, is 11-2, is a bye team in the college football playoff, can we cut that guy some slack, for God's sakes? I mean, goodness gracious. But yeah, they can. It's going to be very difficult. They're very banged up. There's no doubt about it. But the interesting thing about this game is it is strength against weakness on both sides of the ball. Georgia wants to run the ball. Alabama hasn't been great stopping the run, although they've gotten better as of late. Alabama wants to throw the ball. Georgia's not great in their pass defense, although Alabama's not been as good as of late. Ryan Williams is the wild card here. He's in the witness protection program. What's going on with Ryan Williams? Get in the game. Be a part of this thing somehow, some way. I don't know, ultimate sophomore slump. Maybe it's, you give an 18-year-old kid a pile of money, and if that impacts him, I don't know what it is. I'd like to say that Alabama needs to run the ball, but these days it probably should say pass the ball because that's what they do best. Even if Jam Miller can go today, he's not right. We know that. Mm-hmm. So, can't expect a whole lot from him. But to answer your question, yeah, they can win the game because they have won the game 8 times, 7 out of 8 times against Kirby Smart. They've dominated Georgia over the years, and there's that psychological edge, and I think that's a real thing. I think that when that's in a player's head, I think there's something real there, and I think there's something real on the other side when you look across the way and they see that number on the helmet. Those Georgia guys get a little bit, the sphincter tightens up a little bit, and so I think that I think Alabama's got a chance. There's no doubt about it. If they lose this game by 3, 4, 5 points, so be it. That can happen as well. I don't see either side blowing the other one out.
What about you, Shank? I'll throw it to you first.
First, I want one of those sweatshirts. One of those run the ball sweatshirts, because that's very on brand for me. But I think we have a very good chance to go in and beat them again, man. But I think it'll have to be more what I said. We'll have to control the ball. Because at this point, we can't expect the defense to continue to bail us out of bad situations, right? And offensively, we put them in some tough spots. And I think at this point of the season, when guys are trying to win games, you can't expect the defense to continue to bail you out of those sudden change situations on short fields. But I think we can get it done if we commit to something. We got to commit to something offensively, man. Like I said, if we're going to run the ball, we need to run the ball. We don't need to run the ball, get up on them early, and then take out the guys. I'd like to see us play a full game, a full 4-quarter game where we control the game throughout and we finish the game strong. Not that we held on to win at the end.
Right. Run to the finish line.
Tom, I'm right there with you. I when you look at coaches and their performance within the first 2 years of taking over, I don't know if there's another guy out there outside of maybe Dan Lanning who's done a good a job as Kalen DeBoer in terms of competing for national championships and to do it in the SEC at the level that some other coaches. I mean, look, Dan Lanning out at Oregon, and that conference, they're not playing the teams that Alabama's playing. Kalen DeBoer comes in here, rights the ship. I'm not going to say rights the ship, but maintains the ship and does a heck of a job keeping us really, really relevant. Obviously, you got to really appreciate him, and we found a way to win a lot of games and stay consistent. And again, I think us as Alabama fans, you got to be pretty appreciative. In terms of the Alabama-Georgia game, to me, this is one of those games where you got a lot of guys hurt on both teams. And to me, I'm leaning towards the team who has the history and the experience in winning these tight ball games historically in this matchup. You can say what you want to say, but beating a team 11 out of 10 out of 11 times.
10 out of 11.
I mean, there's definitely something to that and definitely an added confidence layer there. Alabama, we still wear the crown. We're still that team. Georgia, again, I don't care what you say. There's an inferiority complex there. There's no doubt about it. I think Ty Simpson, you look at this Georgia defense, while talented, unless they throw a lot of curveballs and get into Ty's head, much like Venables has done, and maybe a few other defensive coordinators, if they line up and play the same way they did in the first game and give Ty time to really make his mic calls, understand where these pressures are coming from, and not try to confuse him, I think Ty's going to win this game with the talent that we have at the receiver position.
Look, I hear you on that. And talking about DeBoer, is he ready to win a championship? And I agree. Like Kalen DeBoer winning the Iron Bowl back-to-back seasons. He's beaten our rivals 5 out of 6 times. Look, talking about Tennessee and Georgia.
Kalen DeBoer has been there with Washington with lesser talent.
Yeah.
You watch Washington play. Who was it in the national championship? They beat Texas.
Michigan.
Texas had superior talent. Then they finally played Michigan, who just physically dominated them, and he did everything he could. Him and Ryan Grubb did everything they could to beat that team. But at some point the talent kind of takes over when you're well coached. And he's been there, he's done that. He's beaten the same team twice before in Oregon and Dan Lanning. And so I mean,
great point.
He's got experience there doing that, mixing things up. And I don't see it ending any different than it did in the past for Kalen DeBoer and for Alabama. We dominate this. If you want to, I don't know how you call it a rivalry because it's been one-sided, but
and they always pick us to lose. That's the crazy thing, Tom.
They always pick us to lose.
You just went on. You realize you just went all Urban Meyer there, right? When they asked Urban Meyer about the rivalry with Tennessee, he says, "I don't know. Doesn't the other team have to win once in a while for your rivalry?"
Hey, Tom, this is FM radio, so I got to keep it pretty classy, but I could say a lot worse.
Man, at the end of the day, man, it all comes down to what drew DeBoer to Alabama, man, is that he's been a winner no matter where he's been.
Yeah.
No matter what teams he's coached, he's had a well-coached team. He's built his culture, and he's found a way to win. And that's why I was happy to get him at Bama.
Hey, man, DeBoer could have taken a lot of jobs, and he could have built a lot of wealth going somewhere else.
Absolutely.
You follow Coach Saban, that says enough for me in the position that you're in. Your success already coming off a national championship experience at Washington, where nobody expected you to be there. Your name is hot as fire, and you come and you follow Coach Saban. Enough said. That's my guy.
And another great recruiting class, too, guys. I mean,
another great recruiting
that's
class.
the thing.
No
People got nervous. Is he Brian Harsin? Is the recruiting going to go into tank? He's not from around these parts and all of that. Forget about all of that. He had a great class, and that's before they hit the transfer portal. So, he's keeping the cupboard full, and he's winning games along the way. I mean,
and the retention that he had after this past season, incredible. Incredible. I mean, lose 26 guys as soon as you come in. You've got 1 year to kind of throw together a season. You almost make it to the playoff. Almost make it to the SEC championship. Everything's going your way. I say that. You make everything go as close to your way as possible, given those circumstances, and then you retain. I don't think we had anybody leave after last year. You have two great recruiting classes, and you fill in the spots as needed in the transfer portal. Isaiah Horton, 3 touchdown catches last week.
Yep.
I start off the show talking about wanting to win by more, but at the same time, when you reflect on where we are this year 2 under Kalen DeBoer, you got to be pretty thankful.
Tom, lastly, I want you to pick the game. And how shocked are Alabama fans going to be when he goes to Penn State after the game?
Not going to Penn State. They hired Matt Campbell yesterday, right? So
I'm about to give. Hey, he made that comment earlier.
That ship has sailed. I mean,
good. Okay. So we're safe.
Yeah, Mick's about to get head to toilet. Swirly Central.
That's a Lane Kiffin joke. Okay,
but they're not. Yeah,
that's all it is. It's a Lane Kiffin joke. But give us the breakdown of the game. Who's going to win and why?
I hope I'm wrong. Obviously I love Alabama. I'm going to sit on that couch and squeeze for Alabama. But if you're asking me for the most intelligent pick that I can give you, I'm going to say that Georgia will win this game like 27-21, something like that. It is really difficult to beat the same team twice in the same year. And I think Alabama's more banged up than Georgia. Recent results, I think Georgia's been playing a little bit better as of recently than the Tide. But give me +1 even in the turnover battle. Give me one good turnover, one good return on special teams, and that'll flip. But right now, if you had to throw me against the wall, I'd say that Georgia will win this game by 4 or 5 points.
All right, we're going to pick it when we come back. Tom, tell everybody how they can catch you.
97.7 ESPN The Zone in North Alabama, WNSR Radio, and in Nashville, WCDT in Winchester, Tennessee. And you can always find it, of course, online. There's an app for all of those radio stations have apps. Just search them out, and you can tune it in there or online.
All right, that's Tom Abraham, who just picked Georgia. We'll be back after this break to pick the game ourselves, Bama and Georgia in the SEC championship game on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
This isn't just a place. It's a pulse and a rhythm where game day is more than a tradition. Heart-pounding yet? It's where the flavors are bold and the portions are generous. Mouth-watering yet? Art, music, and culture paint the city's soul. Creativity flowing yet? So whether you come for the thrill, the taste, the beauty, or the tradition, you'll stay for the Tusca life. Ready to feel it? This is Tuscaloosa. Live the Tusca life.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause Mez wins, and get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mezrano.
When you're ready to double down, dive in, drive for a show, and not look back. Roll into Pearl River Resort. From tee times to table games, water slides by day, slots by night. Savor the flavors, feel the fun, win big. Let's roll into Pearl River Resort. Must be 21 or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A night of rock you don't want to miss. Lido Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world!
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Final segment of the original Bama football tailgate show, and we get you closer and closer to kickoff. Alabama, number 10, Georgia, number 3, in Atlanta, where so many big Alabama moments have happened in that SEC championship game. I can still see Freddie Millens in 1999 running it back on Steve Spurrier and Florida. Nobody thought Alabama could beat the Gators twice in one season. Beat them in the swamp, and then whooped them in the SEC championship game. And as we pick this game, I just want to remind you guys of that, because when Steve Spurrier was the head coach at Florida, there wasn't a better coach in college football. Next show we're going to do before we pick the game is going to be in the Pie Factory, at the Pie Factory in Jasper, Alabama. That's where we're going to do the show. So if you're in that area, just check with us. Obviously, when we see where Bama's going to play, to know when we're going to be there. We'd love for you guys to hang out and do that. Things to watch for in this game, guys.
things to watch for in this game. I was kind of planning on hitting on a different point because Tom kind of got me a little jacked up when he started saying he was picking
Georgia. Go at him. He's not here.
Can I go ahead and kind of go into my pick here?
Yeah, good.
All right. So
Take it away.
We've already made reference to the 2008 SEC championship when Alabama beat Florida, took the reins. Everybody kind of knew that was the moment in time where the torch was passed, and
Right.
It's no longer Florida, it's Alabama. I can't even give any breath to Georgia at this point until I see a moment like that where I say, okay, now Georgia's they've taken the throne. It's their time now.
Right.
So, Kalen DeBoer comes in after Coach Saban retires, breathes new life into this program from my perspective, and has done a hell of a job and has done nothing but beat the dog out of Georgia the last 2 years.
Yep.
And until I see anything different, I don't know how you can. They continue to be the favorite in these games by a point and a half, 2 points, and they're still 10 or they're still 1-11 against 1-10 against
1-10. Yeah.
I don't know how you pick Georgia in this game, given the history and where we are, in terms of who's the dominant program in the SEC. So I'm sticking with Alabama. Still tired of hearing Georgia. It's a never-ending battle.
Right.
People talking about Georgia as if they've taken over the throne in the SEC. It has not happened. They haven't proven anything to us yet. I love Kirby. I respect him. I really, really enjoyed my time at Alabama with him, but Alabama's still Alabama, and we're still better than Georgia. I'm sorry.
Wow, Shank, that's going to be hard to come back and copy that right there. That was good stuff.
It drives me crazy.
No, that was great.
It drives me crazy.
Right there.
Doesn't it feel like you're in like a wrestling match?
I feel like you're ready to suit up right now.
Let me tell you something, brother. Anytime Alabama plays Georgia,
I'm about ready to rip the shirt off.
I can tell. I can tell.
Hey, man, I'm right there with him, though, man. Like I said, we may sit here and say all the things we want. We may nitpick our team, but at the end of the day, they haven't shown me anything that'll make me pick against them. You know what I'm saying? And the 2 losses we had, I feel like we beat ourselves in those 2 losses. You know what I'm saying? I think we'll show up ready to play, man. We do have that edge against Georgia. I think we're a well-coached team, and we show up for these big games. The guys naturally get up for these types of games. And why? Because at the end of the day, our standing is being threatened right now. The standard of Alabama football is being threatened when people pick against us. And I think this SEC championship game is a chance for us to show people that, look, we're still top dogs around here. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Until you beat them, you can't claim that you're better than them.
Hey, it's like Mark Hockey used to say, right underneath Scott Cochran, strength coach. Bama's going to show up at that Mercedes-Benz Stadium, kick the door down, and say, Bama's here!
Absolutely.
All right, give me the score. What's the score going to be?
I'm going 31-24 Alabama.
All right.
Oh, I'm going 28-14 Bama.
28-14 Bama. I think Bama's going to win and cover the spread. I think that when you get into that dome for whatever reason, Bama's at home. And it goes back before Saban. I mean, like, this goes back a long time.
It's Tuscaloosa East.
It is.
Absolutely.
The vibe's in there. The ball bounces Bama's way in there. I think Georgia's a great program. They do things the right way. It's going to be a really heck of a ball game. Bama's banged up. Georgia's banged up. But I think Bama finds a way.
We're all tired of hearing it.
I think
we're all
so,
tired.
too.
We've been tired of hearing it since Coach Smart left, and I love him to death, and he's always going to be one of the best coaches. I think he's going to build a legacy that stands the test of time. Georgia's going to have things named after him, but you still got to prove it. And Daddy's still Daddy.
Mm-hmm. Hey, well said. I want to remind you guys that we will be at the Pie Factory for our next show. I thank all of you guys for hanging out with us on here, all of our guests. Great to have Shank in studio. Man, it was fantastic hanging out with you, Shank. Thank you.
Man. Thanks for having me. It's been a blast. I absolutely need to do more of this stuff with you guys.
Anytime. And check out Shank and I. We do a show on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Try to do it twice a week. Jake, always great to see you, man. Looking sharp. I love that jacket. You're fired up today.
Yeah. I'm just tired of hearing Georgia, man. Tired of hearing it.
Now, listen, I'm tired of it too. After the game, I'll be on the Next Round platform with the post-game show. We'll take your calls. We'll break the whole thing down. So make sure that you hang out with us there as well. Next Round on YouTube. I'm Mick Gillispie for our entire crew. Richie Giuliano behind the scenes, taking care of all the business. Roll Tide, everybody. I don't know when the next show is going to be, but hopefully it's not too far from now. And it's maybe with a bye week in the playoff. Fingers crossed. Roll Tide.